Hi, good morning. My name is Kulbieda, as you just heard. I'm super excited to be here talking to you all today. I'm new to the school, to PBS community, as my son Casey's in kindergarten this year. And we're so excited to be part of the PBS community. I think my favourite thing about the PBS community is the intentional culture building and community building, and that the whole school is focused around teaching you how to be kind, wonderful human beings. I've been in education for over 20 years, all over the globe, and that doesn't happen by accident. So I want to start by thanking the faculty, the leaders, and the staff here at PBS, for being so intentional about creating that school culture and for spending their weekends and late nights thinking about our children. So can we please thank the faculty, leaders, and staff? So, I've been asked to speak about creativity, and this was really exciting for me because I think creativity is amazing and I think of it really broadly. But it was really hard because I had to think about, I had all these creative ideas about what creativity is and how I could speak to you about it. So I had all these great ideas and I was like, I have to start to pick some. Okay? I have to narrow down what I think I want to talk about. And then I chose one. I chose a focus. And then I made a presentation and I was like, okay, it's pretty good. And then I made some changes to it. And I thought, it's getting better. And then I made some more changes. And I thought, okay, it's getting better. And now I'm going to present it today. And maybe after today I'll go back and I'll come up with all these other creative ideas that I could talk about creativity. And that is the creative process. Coming up with lots of ideas, trying to narrow it down, making it better, testing it, and then going back and trying again. Okay? So you are exposed to creativity in small ways and big ways all around you. So thinking about how to be kind on the playground, trying to figure out a way to make a friend smile, maybe thinking about a creative end to your short story. Yeah? Or there may be bigger examples about how your teachers come up with creative ideas to help you learn and to support you every single day. Or maybe some people in the community who come up with great inventions. So to begin, I thought, you know what? We need to define what creativity is. So here's a few definitions. Okay? Creativity. Courageously using your imagination to positively influence others. Okay? The ability to make new things or make new ideas or think of new ideas. The ability to produce original and unusual ideas or make something new and imaginative. So that all boils down really to three small things. Well, big things really, but things that you all do already. So ideas, imagination, and dreams, turning those into reality. So let's look at some examples that I like to watch. Okay? Some of you might know. So this is a Rube Goldberg machine made out of dominoes. A whole gymnasium turned into magic. So my questions are... Good. I thought maybe some of you...
2, 1, go! That's the way it's ought to be. There goes some tricks.
It's like a very complicated marble run, that's right. So how many times do you think they knocked it over and had to start again? A lot? 500 times, I'm sure. And they kept trying again and again. And they had all these crazy ideas and they brought them all together. Okay? So let's watch someone who I like, who I think demonstrates heaps of imagination.
We have no more candy.
Guys, there's candy everywhere. You just have to know where to look. Like this. This isn't really a carrot.
Whoa.
It's chocolate. And this is jelly bean punch. Watch this.
Whoa.
Isn't that awesome? And here, Watch this. Stand back.
So when I watch Zach King, I'm curious about how he comes up with these ideas. Does he have a notebook and he writes all his inspiration in?
Okay. Stand clear. 3, 2,
How does he
1.
persist when everyone thinks his ideas he will never work?
Wow.
Pretty cool, right? Very clever. And then the final one. Sorry, I knew I'd create excitement. Sorry. And then the last one is probably one of my favorites because this person, she's trying to help somebody. And I think that's cool.
My name is Anna Makasinski. I'm 16 years old, and I created a flashlight that runs off the heat of the human hand. I was writing online to one of my friends back in the Philippines, and she told me that she had failed her grade at school. It was because she had no light to study with. And I realized that a lot of people around the world still have a very similar problem, so I wanted to create a potential solution. I decided to harvest the thermal energy of humans using something called Peltier tiles. I heat one side of the tile and I cool the other. A small amount of electricity is produced. I decided to heat one side with the palm of my hand and cool the other side with the ambient air and a hollow aluminum tube. I always had the
So Anne wanted to help a friend with a problem, a real world problem. Her friend didn't have enough light so that she could study. So Anne wanted to come up with a great idea to help her. So she dreamt up an idea. She thought of all the different ways. She was super open-minded. And then she had some technical knowledge, or she learnt the technical knowledge that she needed to fulfill that dream. So how can we be creative? Yeah, creative takes courage. The number one thing. You have to be courageous to try your ideas, okay? So, as example, our friends with our Rube Goldberg dominoes machine. They must have had some time and space to be bored. Why must they have had time and space to be bored? Because if they weren't bored, they probably wouldn't have had the idea to make this really, really awesome, very large scale Rube Goldberg machine. Okay? So sometimes when you have nothing else to do, that's when you can be most creative. And then they must have made this goal for themselves. We're going to fill a whole gymnasium. Yeah, we're going to film it. We're going to have an audience. Yeah, and then drive. Yeah, we're going to make this happen. And grit. Every time I fail, I'm going to try again until it works. Okay? And then fearlessness. Because some of those things were very intricate, so they had to be fearless to try new ideas. For me, Zach King, I think he daydreams a lot. You know, sometimes when you're at home and you're in the car and you're looking out the window, looking at the clouds, going, oh, I see a dinosaur, right? That happens in my car. So, and then playing around, playing with different things, trying new things, yeah? And then following your intuition. Super important. And then for Anne, she was questioning everything. How can I help my friend? Yeah? She was curious about what types of energy sources she could use to make this most effective in her friend's life. And then she built the technical knowledge. So for me, I think that we have all these inspirations around us that we like to consume, and it's very easy to sit back and just like to watch other people do cool things. But I want to encourage you to create your own things. The reason is this. When you're creating, you're seeing hidden patterns, you're making connections, and you're discovering new ideas. Here's an example. And my students right now, whilst I'm here, are in their classroom at Menlo creating their own math problems. And I tell them this is why. You can look at this picture and you can compare and contrast. There's dark blue leaves, light blue leaves, they're different sizes. But if I said to you, I want you to make something similar, you might start to see these hidden trapezoids. Yeah? All different shapes and sizes, and this is a mathematical theorem called Thales' Theorem of Enlargement. So not only have you now observed and compared and contrasted the picture, now you're thinking about how somebody made it. Yeah? Now you're synthesizing. You might see this in the garden, and you might be like, I might like to draw that. Okay? So when you start to create, you might start seeing these hidden octagons. Yeah? Iterations of octagons growing smaller and smaller and smaller. So you're starting to think about it differently. Or you might make connections. Wow, when the waves crash on the shore, it looks like a face. Yeah? So you're starting to see things differently and coming up with new ways of seeing ordinary things. Or you might like to create your own Rube Goldberg machine that brushes your teeth in the morning because it's hard to get up in the morning and get yourself ready. So if you had a machine to help you, that would be super cool. So then my big thing is why. Why should we be creative? And I love this quote. Yeah? Creativity is the way I share my soul with the world. Because when you're being creative, you're living your true, authentic life. You're living who you are as a human being at your core. Yeah? When you're creating, you're usually creating things that you like. Yeah? You're creating things that you feel passionate about. And the one other thing that I'm constantly talking to young people about is it's not about always what you get. So at PBS you get lots of love, lots of friends, lots of fun. But when you're creating, you're giving something back. So you're creating a way to make your friends smile. That's about giving. You're creating an artwork to share. You're creating a math problem for your friends to play with. So when we create, we're actually giving back. And in life, it's not always about what you get, but more about what you'll give. Thank you so much for listening today.